So today then we're looking at the subject of a formula, okay, also known as rearranging formula. But with anything that we use algebra for, we need to remember inverse operations. Okay, so here are some typical questions, okay? We need to make x the subject, which means get x by itself. So to get this x by itself, I need to eliminate everything that's around it. So let's start with this plus t. To eliminate plus t, I need to use the inverse, which is to subtract t. You can see plus t inverse is a negative t. So on this side, I have w take away t. On this side, we have 2x, because I haven't changed that yet. I now would like to eliminate this 2. Well, 2x means x times 2, or 2 times x. So to eliminate that, use the inverse, which will be to divide by 2. So I'm not going to write w take away t divided by 2, because that means I'm just dividing the t by 2. However, I am dividing all of it by 2. So I use a fraction. Okay? So w take away t, and then divide all of it. Okay? Use a fraction. We don't know what w and t are. Of course we don't. But we don't need to. We've now made x the subject. Okay, over here. We need to make x the subject. So to get this by itself, I need to eliminate this ab over here. And the way to eliminate that will be to subtract ab. So then on the right hand side, I'm going to have 3t take away ab. But if I've eliminated this, that means I have x by itself, which is what I was trying to do to make it the subject. It is now the subject, so the value of x equals 3 lots of t take away a times b. So then, looking at these down here then, slightly harder question because I've incorporated brackets, but exactly the same principle. With a bracket we need to expand, so 3 times x is 3x, 3 times t is 3t, over a equals b. All I've done is expand the bracket. Now I need to eliminate this divide by a, okay? That means divide. Inverse of divide will be to multiply. So we need to multiply by a. So then that means on this side I have ba, because b lots of a. However, remember alphabetical order when we are multiplying our letters. So if I eliminate this divide by a, I now have 3x plus 3t on the top. On the top here, which now has it by itself because I've eliminated this divide by a. To make x the subject, I need to eliminate this plus 3t by subtracting 3t from this ab. So we are now nearly there. You see I just brought this 3x down. I want x by itself, which means I need to eliminate this 3. Well, remember from before, when they're stuck together, inverse will be to divide. So AB, take away 3t, divided by 3, leaves x as the subject. So this one over here, you'll notice now I've got x attached to a, however, it's negative, okay? Now, whenever you see these as a negative value, or as a negative letter, we need to make it positive, okay? We've got to make it positive. And the only way we can do that is by adding ax. That way then, on this side I now have y plus ax equals t. Now it's positive, I can then do the same as before to get x by itself. I now need to eliminate the y by subtracting y. So on this side I have ax, on this side I have t take away y. But I want x by itself. So I need to eliminate the a by dividing by a. Remember, divide, we use fractions. So divide by a. And x is by itself. Right, remember inverses now, slightly different. I want the x by itself, so I need to eliminate the plus g by taking away g. So on the right hand side now I have h subtract g. This side I have the square root of x. Inverse of square root is to square. Therefore, to have x by itself, we need to square all of this. And that's when we use brackets. So this one here, a little bit different. We need to square both the sides to get x as the subject. So if that's square root, you can see here I've got a squared. So to eliminate this positive a, I need to subtract a. So on the right hand side, we have b take away a. On this side, we have x squared, but I don't want x squared. I want the inverse operation. Inverse of squared is square root. That will give me x by itself. But it's not just the square root of b or the square root of a. It is the square root of all of it. Okay, so my biggest tip is if we're dividing by 2, use a fraction, but we are dividing all of it. If we want the square root of all of it. If we're multiplying or squaring, use brackets. Okay, hope it helps. Have a really good go. It can be tricky. Obviously, they do get a little bit harder, and especially to higher tier, where you have to factorise some parts of them. However, remember, inverse operations, and you shouldn't go far wrong.